It's time for Quarantine Cabaret Cocktails with Robert Bannon and Lee Lessack.
Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas!
Look, this is my mom. That's my mom. Look, we look alike a little. We do.
You do look alike. Hi, it's so nice to meet you.
I'm here. I love your show, you guys. Oh, let me let you do your show.
Okay. Merry Christmas.
Me too.
She came in to say hello, and I was like, "You're coming on right now."
You know what, Mark? Get your iPad. We're dealing with technical difficulties. You know, it happens.
It's all good. We're good.
It's all good.
Hi, Merry Christmas out there. Happy holidays to everyone. We are so happy to be with you today, especially this very odd year. A lot of people were home alone. You're not with your families. You're not with your friends. But me and Lee are here.
So watch out.
So we will keep you here. Holly jolly Christmas from us to you.
Wow. We have such a show tonight. I am so excited. Do you know how to do this? I'm helping Mark because we have guests in the other room. You know, I have wanted for 37 weeks for our dear friends Carole Cook and Troupe to come on the show, but they are not necessarily technically savvy, and so it's just not been possible. But they're here tonight if I can get this freaking iPad to work.
Hollywood
so
icon, comedian, actress, singer, Carole is here. Amazing actor. Tom is here on Christmas Eve. Then we have For the Record. They're doing Love Actually Live, which is done at the Wallace. Ty Taylor is here. When I think of Ty Taylor, I think of A New World. That's Ty Taylor. Ty singer, extraordinary actor. And Rex Smith is here. You know,
oh my God.
You Take My Breath Away and had all these hit songs. And he's a Broadway star. He was in Pirates of Penzance, the movie. He's here as well. And then just for fun, because we didn't have enough star power for you, Melissa Manchester is here to close out the 2020 year of Quarantine Cabaret and Cocktails and our hot, stinky mess of a year that we all survived barely, thank God, with a song and some good times later. So
Mark, close mine because it will conflict. Okay, I think we fixed it. I think. We'll see.
After 35 weeks or so, we've really gotten this show down pat. Can't you tell?
Oh my God. We need an engineer. And a medic.
What Lee's saying is he asked for Xanax for Christmas.
Right. Exactly. Anyway, I'm very excited. One of my dearest friends who is just a visionary when it comes to entertainment and conceptualizing concerts and music and whatnot is Shane Shale, and he is the producer of For the Record Live, and they do a whole series of events where they celebrate the music of a filmmaker. So they've done like For the Record Tarantino and For the Record Scorsese and whatnot. But for the last 3 or 4 years at the Wallace Theater in Beverly Hills, they've done a production of Love Actually, where they celebrate the music of the film with like vignettes from the film, but also like live on stage. And it has become a huge hit here in LA. And obviously it's not happening this year. So they've created this incredible New Year's Eve event that they are here to tell us about. So I'm going to show you a little snippet of their work. And then we've got Shane, and we've got the musical director, Jesse Vargas, and we have Ty Taylor. And I think we have Rex Smith, I think, but I don't see him backstage. So if someone wants to text him, feel free. Okay, here we go.
Experience the unforgettable holiday classic like you've never seen before. Transformed into a revolutionary stage and screen event. Love Actually Live. Backed by popular demand, now is a not-to-be-missed Los Angeles tradition. Love Actually Live at the Wallace Annenberg Center for the Performing Arts. Open.
Hey!
How are you guys?
Hey, everybody.
Hello.
Hey, Ty. Hey, Jesse.
Hi.
Hey, Shane.
Hi, Lee. I can't text and talk at the same time, or I call Rex. But like, Lee, thank you for that amazing introduction.
Oh, please.
You have been a great friend for a very long time. I was telling
Oh, God.
Rex and Ty earlier and
Ben.
everyone that we that you were one of the very first people to come see the show and get behind it. And we released our very first album when we were just kids doing a Kickstarter thing, when Kickstarter was like the only way to make an album at that time. But we got everyone together and we made an album, and Lee released it on LML. And it's been a long journey, and he's been always there for me to like get advice from on how to get this show on the road. So thank you for having us. When we were just talking a couple of weeks ago about another project, Shoshana, which you guys have had Shoshana on the show, and he's like, "Come on, let's do a Christmas Eve event." And that sounded like a perfect way to promote the show and also see a bunch of familiar faces and get some friends together. So thank you so much.
Oh, it is my pleasure. I have loved watching you over the years, and you are a visionary, and you've created such incredible work. And I love how you celebrate artists and music, and I love when good things happen to good people. I always say that, and I am so thrilled for all of your success. I mean,
it's taken what I am most proud about this. Everything that I've done in the past 15 years doing cabaret shows, and especially the last decade making For the Record, is that this is really about a community to me. And it has been since day one. Everyone just kind of took a chance on me to like kind of lead them, and I just consider this a family of people that I get to steer for this period of time. I hope this outlives me. So and I definitely I think we have a beautiful representation of like Jesse Vargas is here, and Ty Taylor, who's known me all along and really has believed in this show. I mean, in For the Record in itself, and has always been there every time I ask him to do something. Like, on Christmas Eve, will you jump online and talk to people and drink wine? Sure.
Why not? Well, I want to throw up. I love the poster that you sent me earlier, so I'm just gonna cover us for a moment.
Okay.
So on New Year's Eve, there is this event called To Me You're Perfect, and it's going to be all the songs and the stories from Love Actually, and they've gathered the casts from the last 3 years of the production, because it changes every year, the cast members, and they're all going to be online reminiscing, singing the songs, and then there's like a Q&A, and it sounds like a great time. I didn't know what I was going to do for New Year's Eve, and now I do.
It's a giant family reunion, really, at the end of the day. It's just us getting the gang together, and really, we can't celebrate this year. It's a weird year to celebrate. But just reflecting on a year and reflecting on the fact that we still have each other, and that we're lucky to have our health, and we're lucky to be able to just get on a call here and talk to people. And we're going to have people from all over the world. We're going to have people from, I think this cast is spread out in probably 10, 15 states that are all going to be joining live.
Wow.
We have performances. I think the best way to describe it is the performances are a little bit like the Disney sing-alongs that you've seen in the past, like over the year, where we've had people record their songs at home, and we're bringing them from all over the country, and then we're going to go live to everyone in their homes. And it's really just as difficult as this year has been. I've got to see I got to know people more, because we're actually talking more and we're connecting more.
That's true. That is true. So Jesse, I've seen like all of these productions, I saw Tarantino, I saw Scorsese, I saw Love Actually, and you've like made this like your thing, and it's amazing. It's amazing, the
Thank you.
orchestrations and really, really thrilling. And these productions at the Wallace are incredible. I unfortunately didn't know that when they asked, do you want to sit on the stage or in the house,
boy.
that I should have said in the house
Yeah.
for the Scorsese production.
Yeah, sitting on stage is more of like a second or third time experience, really, because
Yeah.
then you get to kind of like be in it and have
Yeah,
that kind of
I
immersive
wasn't-
experience. But if you
Yeah.
want to kind of hear it and take it in from the front first.
Jesse,
But- Go on.
what can people expect in terms of the music when they tune in to see this? What kind of music is it, and what can we expect?
Well, Love Actually Live started as a kind of radio play reenactment of the movie on stage in the Wallace's Cabaret space. And as we do with For the Record, it was taking the soundtrack and kind of adapting it to theatrically support the story. And we all found that all of these songs, or most of the songs on the soundtrack, all kind of worked in these moments for the movie. So it started out with like a 6-piece band. I think I was like orchestrating on a cruise ship like 2 weeks before we started. It was a chaotic process. But what ultimately became of it the following year on the main stage is new arrangements of most of the songs from the soundtrack, which most of which are not Christmas songs. But I kind of gave everything like the holiday treatment. We recorded musicians in Budapest, the Budapest Film Orchestra, and really put like the pop Christmas treatment on all of the songs. And then the film score, which there are like 3 instrumental pieces that Craig Armstrong wrote, we actually had lyrics written for, so that his themes, which are famous and part of the anatomy of the movie, also kind of are theatricalized and brought to life. And so you will only hear one of those themes with lyrics on the album, because it's just a highlights album. But I think it's a great representation of the spirit of the show musically, the way that we've taken these songs and given them their own life. And I always try to kind of put them in context and not just do like I never do karaoke versions. I'm very anti karaoke versions of songs. I always want to like change them up. I don't want you to know. Sometimes you don't know it's the song until you hear the chorus, because not everyone knows the verses of songs. As long as you're in the emotion, that's the idea. But so lucky to have, I think, what was probably in total maybe 30 pieces.
Wow.
And which is amazing, because you don't get to do that for theater very often, that's for sure. And I'm so happy that we got to release it as an album. And also the vocal arrangements by Emery Milazzo, who did Spring Awakening and Next to Normal and Once in This Island, who I've loved dearly for years and years. She's created this beautiful choral, wall of sound. And that alone elevates these songs and takes them to a new place. So, and the vocalists are all insane. So, and I've had the fortune of the past 3 years to just have like killer vocalist after killer vocalist bringing these songs. And a lot of these arrangements were built around the people who created these songs. So I'm so happy to have all of that and all the talent to support it. So I think it's just the soundtrack of Love Actually, blown up.
Wow.
Well, talk about a killer
of incredible vocalists.
He's right.
I know.
Year number 1, yeah.
I know Ty from Broadway, and then when Shane started his cabaret nights here in LA, I remember you coming and singing and whatnot, and now you've like blown up into this rock star. I love it. Vintage Trouble is like ridiculous, on fire. I mean, how it's. I mean, the chances of that journey are far and few between, and it's amazing. And you are incredible. And thank you for being here on Christmas Eve.
Thank you. Good night.
Bye.
No, it's really amazing to me because I remember the first time I did a production with For the Record, and it was one of the first times I'd gone back to doing anything that felt theatrical more so than just music based, and it just reminded me really of how much I love being dramatic. No, how much I love doing theater and being surrounded with a company of people that have grown up in the theater was something I'd forgotten about for so long. As a matter of fact, when I left theater, the reason why I got into the music business is because there was a certain amount of energy that felt like people didn't quite appreciate how great their lives were to be able to get to be inside of this medium. And I felt like it was actually tarnishing me, so I left it. And then so to come back and do For the Record and understand that maybe it was just the particular people I was around at the time that were dark, because all the people involved in the For the Record shows, maybe it's because they're kind of like the rock and rollers of Broadway. And so maybe there's a wild abandonment to their personalities, but it made me fall in love with the whole art of theater again, just being in For the Record. And then it made me feel really cool to be the person that came back and people were like, oh my God, you're from this thing called Songs for a New World. And I didn't even realize really that it was something that had even been released. You know, I did Songs for a New World, and then I got a record deal, so I left New York right away. I was doing the show Grease at the time. And so it was this weird thing that happened. That's when I came back to doing anything that was surrounded with theater performers, that they were like, oh my God, I did this in college. Oh my God. And I didn't even remember that it had been released.
Oh God,
It's crazy.
That was a great thing. But talking about the record, there is this thing that is unlike most other theater productions, and I hope I don't get in trouble for saying this. But these kids party, and I think that was kind of what made me feel comfortable about coming back to it. Was that, I mean, we were doing great shows, but you know, at intermission, everyone was drinking in dressing rooms. Understood holiday cocktails all year round. It made me feel more at home coming back to anything that felt theatrical, and I love Love Actually specifically because I was asked to do, you know, the black guy, and so here you have this White Christmas song, and it's an Otis Redding version of the song, and Otis Redding is one of the most soulful African American performers of all time. So I felt like here I am again getting to be the dichotomy poster boy, because I get to sing White Christmas, a version by one of the blackest people in the world. And so it made me feel really happy to get to do this. And then I remember, because I get to tour a lot, and because like mainly I'm not thinking about the performance element of it, I remember Anderson, who directs these shows, he says, what an amazing moment you just did, which I didn't think about. At the top of the song, just because I wanted to be comfortable getting back into, you know, performing, I decided to unwrap a box while I'm singing the top of the song. So, you know, I'm just giving myself a first and second degree action while I'm singing the song. And then, so as I'm undoing it, I hear him in the background go, oh, brilliant. And then I hear, you know, this guitar player, Eric Carlson, next to me be like, yeah, so soulful. So it just made me feel at home right away. And that's how it's always been. You know, this company of performers, I relate back to a time, most people can only think about it in movies. You know, what's the Bullets Over Broadway? You know, where you have these companies that perform together a lot, so you know everyone inside of the group. I romanticize about the beatnik time period where there was all these companies of artists that get together, and you know, what role are you playing in this show? Oh, you're this time. That's, you know, like everyone knows who you are in each show, and it's so at home. So I think people that just see one show, they think it's amazing. But when people watch the For the Record series happening, like when they go every 3 months and see the Tarantino, and then they see the Baz Luhrmann, and they see the Scorsese, they get to know all these people that are recurring characters. And it becomes, you really identify with the fact that this is a really rare thing. Not only to be in LA to get to do theater, but also to be part of a theater company. You know, I wish they could have more flies on the wall or cameras on the wall at these after parties that happen after the show.
No,
No, not just because of the craziness, everybody. I'm talking about because of the camaraderie. And
Yeah.
everyone comes into the after parties, and everyone, we're in LA, so you're really busy. I think everyone I talk to on the way into a For the Record after party says they're going to be there for a half hour. They're the same person that has my keys by mistake when we're leaving. By mistake.
Right? By mistake. Mistake. So
you probably want me to talk about this album more. But I just thought that people.
No, it's all good.
No, that's great.
Understand what a great company For the Record is, and it's one of these things that a lot of people know about it, but I feel like I can't wait for the whole world to know about it. So to be any part of this machine that helps more people find out about it, this is why I come on Christmas Eve. This is why I say yes to Shane and Steve and Jesse all the time. It's because I want the world to love what I love. That way I don't seem so crazy.
I love it. So a couple things. The show on New Year's Eve is at what time Pacific?
5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m.
5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern.
I mean, they're in the middle part of the country that we do care about. So,
Well, but I think if we establish Pacific and Eastern, they can figure it out.
They can figure out. I mean, math's hard.
And you can go to fortherecordlive.com, and that's where you can get tickets and all the information. And also this new album, which is exclusively available to fans of Love Actually. It's not streaming. We're not releasing it.
We're
to
very
the
old-fashioned.
But you can download it exclusively this holiday. Yeah. And that's also on the website, right?
Yep. Just go to the website for everything.
It's just like one-stop shopping.
Can I say one more thing before you kick me out of the room?
Sure. Of course.
I had no idea that Melissa Manchester was going to be here.
I know.
Here's the deal. I was performing as a kid in this children's nightclub on 46th Street called Van Buren's at the time. It was right next door to Don't Tell Mama. We were doing this show, and the song I had to sing when I was 11 years old in a children's nightclub was "You Should Hear How She Talks About You" by Melissa Manchester. And I didn't know who she was at the time. I had to go to Colony Music and get the sheet music. I had to learn that song. So when she comes on here, tell her that she inspired a little black boy to get into rock and roll. It was from the beginning. I was the only one in that show that wasn't singing a theater song. And the guy that gave me that song, I was like, what the fuck is happening? And then as soon as everyone else was doing you're Nafra fully dressed, and I was like, you hear how she talks about you? I was like, yes, I recognize the difference. It changed my life. Please let her know.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Wow. Well, we are going to tell her. We are going to tell her.
Absolutely.
Listen, I love you all. Thank you for coming on. Everybody, New Year's Eve. We know what we're doing. Let's all be watching this show. It's going to be so much fun.
Thank you so much, Lee.
Thank you.
Robert.
Thank you, Shane. Thank you, Ty. Thank you, Jesse. Merry Christmas.
You guys.
Merry Christmas.
We'll see you all in the new year.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Oh my God, I love that.
Great.
I'm excited. They're incredibly talented. Incredibly talented group.
And listen to Ty Taylor's albums because he's got some voice.
He's incredible. He's incredible. Okay. Next up, we have two of the most incredible people on the planet, Carole Cook and Tom Troupe. I met them, I think, 25 years ago doing a big musical AIDS benefit here. And Carole has done every year. It was the longest musical AIDS fundraiser ever. I think it ran 20 or 25 years, and she performed in every single one of them, called the Stage Benefit. And that's how I met her. And they're just incredible people, and their history is iconic. And I have wanted them to come on the show for 37 weeks, but we're in the midst of a pandemic, and so it took until Christmas. So this is the best Christmas. But before I bring them on the screen, I just want to show a little history of them. So grab your drink, because the history is long. Okay.
Clear up to Albany just to be a buzzer. Ballot? Oh, no thank you. I'm just making out the Theodore J. Moon. Come in and make yourself to home. Thank you so much. We're just itching to get started.
Spend it and you'll hate yourself in the morning.
Carole Cook.
Oh, I don't know, Joe. I figure if I gotta go, it might just as well be this trip as the next one.
You know, like phasers, only worse whenever they were using this.
You do understand, don't you, Jerome?
I'm sorry, I was just trying to imagine the long version of the story.
He has more worthy interest to my estate than you could hold a candle to. And being no older than you are, he organizes operations for state senators, lobbies for the small businessman.
Your son will come out tomorrow. Bet your bottom dollar that tomorrow he'll be gay.
There aren't many people like Carole. There really aren't.
Thank you, darling. You're in the will. It's a matter of priority. I really believe that it was priority. And for me, my marriage was the most important thing. Hit it! I'm just a Broadway baby, walking off my tired feet. Yeah, pounding 42nd Street to be in a great big Broadway show.
There you are.
Hello.
Hello to you. Unfortunately, he didn't play for us. We didn't see anything.
Oh, how are
guys.
you? Merry Christmas.
Thank you. It's good to see you, Robert.
Yeah, I love getting up at this hour. And I'm crazy about this. I know. This is why I do not have a Zoom at home, or whatever you call that. I mean, everybody looks like Margot when she left Shangri-La. I mean, not attractive.
It's amazing when you think about it. We're sitting here, and it's incredible. It's not easy being old. I can't remember anything anymore. I can remember all the soliloquies I did of Hamlet when I was 18.
You're not going to do them.
No, but I could do them. The soliloquies of Hamlet that I did when I was 19, I could say right now, but I can't remember what we did yesterday.
There's not a lot of call for that.
No,
believe me.
I could do it.
Well, as an actor and as a singer and a trained actor, Tom, you are one of the greatest actors truly of our time. Your work, your span of work is beyond. And Carole is one of the most brilliant, not just comedic actresses, but in general, actresses literally of our time. It's truly an honor to have you both spend time with us, especially on this holiday. Thank you both so much for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. You're in.
I don't know if you can see the comments, but you just got a message that said, "Tom and Carole, we love you. Your family is watching from Kansas City. Cheers, Larry, Sharon, Ashley, and Charles."
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Also, the entire, huh?
I think that's where I was born, wasn't it?
You don't know where you were born?
I can't remember.
Fascinating.
Also,
I did
the
say I was
entire,
walking down our hallway, and I was trying to get Carol. I was like, Carol, I can't. Where are you? And she came out of the kitchen, which she's never in because she doesn't cook. She keeps her sweaters in the oven. She came out and she said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I can't find my glasses. I'm walking up and down the hall." She said, "Try your mouth," and they were in my backpack.
Well, after 56 years, I know we don't look at. We're referred to as the Lunts of Los Angeles.
yes. Well,
Everybody there is going, who the frig are the Lunts?
Well, we were married 50, how many years ago?
56.
56
But
56
years ago, yeah.
yes, which is fascinating since I was only 12 when we married.
right, exactly. So
Kentucky.
I was arrested.
So we married young.
Tell about our wedding.
your
Her wedding, our wedding was unbelievable.
Yeah, because I came out to California and I was a protege of Lucille Ball. So I thought, I'll have Lucy as my matron of honor. Wrong, really wrong. Nobody gave a shit about me. They say, how does Carole look? They said, Carole who? Lucille Ball was in it. Been married before to a tramp. No. That's just an expression. Anyway, he had a son, Christopher, who my stepson, and every morning I made him get up and go, "Good morning, beautiful stepmother." He was in the wedding, he dropped the ring. Lucille Ball slipped on the rug. It was like an old Lucille Ball show, you know.
oh my gosh.
Long time, right?
Well, all of your Dallas stalkers are watching. They've texted me, they're watching. And also the entire Macaulay family in Alabama is watching. And they all send their love.
They sent us a beautiful flowers yesterday.
Oh yeah, it looked like a headpiece that belonged on Fanny Bryce. It was gorgeous. So he said to the florist, just have fun with it. I have no idea what that florist.
I don't want to know.
Oh my.
And we had to call our neighbors to help us move it in. It's huge.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
But you know what? It was, when I was growing up, I always wanted to be on Broadway. Was that you? And not movies or television. You know, I'm not sure television was even born. I wish I hadn't said that. Oh, to be 90 again. Well, I am. Well, it's all right to say it. I'm 96.
96.
I'm 92.
Cougar.
Toy boy. I married a much younger man.
Right.
But in our wedding, it really was. Lucy was going to be matron of honor, and my stepson was the little ring bearer. He dropped the ring and all this. And my idea of heaven for me, I thought, now I'm marrying rather late in life. I was 40 when we married, and I thought, oh my God, the thing I wanted most of all was to look virginal. Now, in the theater, we call that a stretch. And it was, and Lucy saw me. I decided to wear no makeup, which is not attractive right off the bat. And I thought, I'll look like Grace Kelly. She looked at me, Lucy looked at me and came out and she said, you look like the ghost of Christmas past. Put on some lipstick. So I looked like a cheap Tootsie. Taking this white face. Very attractive.
Oh my God.
You're beautiful. You're beautiful.
I had to tell the minister that Lucille Ball was going to be my matron of honor. I thought he'd get in the middle of the show. I'm so showbiz. Of the sermon and go, not knowing Lucy was in the show, in the sermon, and he'd go, and dearly beloved, we have here our matron of honor, Lucille Ball. Would you sign the Bible for the wife and kiddies? So all of a sudden, he said, oh, if Lucille Ball is going to be the matron of honor, then I'm going to wear my white robe with the wide lace. I said, no, dear, you're not the bride. I'm the frickin' bride. But everybody was looking at Lucy, so it didn't matter anyway.
Oh my God. I love these stories. And you have so many, and we've shared so many over the years. Obviously, it's Christmas Eve. I'm so glad that you are here with us on Christmas Eve. And I know for probably most of the years that I've known you, for 25 years, every holiday you made the pilgrimage back to Dallas. I know most people would not think you are from Texas at all. They would think you're from Chicago, but you are from Texas, and you would go back to spend Christmas with your dear sister Regina and the whole family, and Mark and Catherine, and you'd be there for weeks. We wouldn't see you for weeks because you were just hanging out and eating tacos.
Well, a lot of people can't hardly tell I'm from Texas now.
I know.
I lost my accent.
I know. Well,
affected.
I know.
I love going back to Texas. You know, it was fun.
I know. And of course, now this year you can't travel. We're stuck. We're stuck at home. But we wanted to try and recreate your holiday tradition in Decatur. So we want to bring on to the show Regina, Mark, and Catherine.
Really? Oh my God.
Regina.
Hey, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Oh my God.
I can't believe, are you really there?
They're there.
You know,
They're there.
They're all there.
Oh my God.
Hi, darlings. You don't look any
Hi.
better
Merry
than I do
Christmas.
on this Zoom. You know that.
that's Mark, Catherine, and I'm your
That's my
sister.
darling sister. There they are. My niece, my nephew. Who's heading back?
Mark.
I'm just this side
No,
of
that's
Patty
a tree.
D, the miracle worker.
That's a tree.
I can't see shit. Oh,
There's a
yeah.
tree there.
Well, I thought it was wonderful that we were on. I do love coming on television and having it. I think they couldn't have chosen anyone better to follow the group that just was on with us. And their show is all about with Christmas. And I said, I've never followed baby Jesus before. But I followed a lot of people, but not baby Jesus. Well, I can't believe, how did you get the fun group together?
Oh, you know me. I'm relentless.
Amazing.
I haven't gotten your present yet. You're all out of the will. And let me tell you,
You did get my present.
you would
Yeah.
be up to your ass in costume jewelry. I wore everything. I didn't want to leave anything at the motel.
Hi, Regina, Catherine, and Mark. Thank you for being here. Merry Christmas.
How are you all doing in Dallas? How you doing?
What are you all having a Christmas dinner?
Tomorrow we will.
Tomorrow on Christmas.
Okay, we'll
We've
talk to you.
also gone deaf it now. Okay. Well, maybe we'll all just come. How about it, Robert? We all go. Let's all go to Texas.
I will come to, if you're inviting me, Carole, I'm coming. Let's go. I'm in. Regina, Catherine, Mark, move over. I'm coming from Jersey.
Okay, great.
Hey,
Unbelievable. Well, it's Merry
you gotta
Christmas,
come over.
everybody. Merry Christmas.
The McCulleys.
Merry
Mark,
Christmas.
to the McCulleys.
Oh, and to the McCulley family, whom I adore. They're a little worried about my influence on their son, but it's like Auntie Mame. You can never tell what they'll grow up to be.
That's right.
And you see my friends here. It's
How are the
wonderful to see you all. And it's Christmas. Isn't that fabulous?
Can't believe it.
Well, believe it.
It's sunny still.
Robert, it is so lovely to meet you too.
Oh, firstly, I have seen your work, and I have. Lee has told me about your guys' adventures through the years between your trips into Europe or performing together in London, and how much he adores you guys. And throughout the pandemic, he told me about his drive-bys, dropping off some Bloody Mary mix and checking on you all. So I'm such an honor, as such a love of show business and a love of Hollywood. It's a dream come true to talk to you both.
It really has been marvelous. I said, I'm not sure I can get through this pandemic. It's 9 months, isn't it? I can either drink Bloody Marys or I can have a baby. Well, it's 9 months, but I chose to have a Bloody Mary.
Well, when I'm 96 or 92, I'm having whatever I want.
Exactly. Exactly. We had, I have to say, I don't know how many years ago it was, Mark or Catherine or Regina, maybe you remember, but we did a cruise, Mark and Catherine and Regina and Carole and Tom and Mark and we and Bonnie, we all went we started in Stockholm and we ended in Copenhagen. We did a cruise through the Baltic. We went to St. Petersburg and whatnot.
And they lost their luggage, darling.
They did. And Carole and Tom and
longer dresses.
Carole, Tom, Regina, Bonnie, Mark, Catherine. None of their luggage arrived in Stockholm. Thank you, British Airways. Thank you, British Airways. And they went on this cruise with the clothes they flew in only. And the luggage never arrived. For the entire cruise, the luggage never arrived. But they made the best of it. I remember, Regina, you took an eyeglass case and you took like a necklace chain and wrapped it inside the eyeglass case and carried it like it was a purse.
Mark did that. You're right, Lee.
It was your evening bag.
It was my evening bag, yes. And then he took the ship loaned him bow ties for the tux, and he put the bow ties around my ankle.
I just kept wearing the same dress. I put on a different piece of jewelry. That's all. I never leave my jewelry with the baggage people. No.
But anyway,
that
was an experience. We had a great time. And after that, we continued on to London. I was doing a week-long concert engagement, and Carole, you agreed to come with us and be my special guest, which was such an honor. We spent a whole week doing concerts in London, which was, I'll never forget it. We had so much fun.
I know it. I cannot believe that I'm not the Queen of England. I really cannot, I used to go around and say, I'm the Queen. I've learned that wave very well. Love to do the wave. Love it.
Tom,
I had a bad fall, and so they said you must walk with a cane, only for a short time, you understand. And I said to Tom, I'm going to look like Catherine the Great of Russia. I'm going to wear a big fur piece and have a great cane. I'm going to collect canes, and I will look like Catherine the Great of Russia. He said, no, Carole, you're going to look like a very old woman with a cane. And I put up with this now 56 years.
Beautiful.
Wow.
Tom, does that mean you're king, Tom? If she's the queen, does that mean you're the king?
My king.
Are you king?
I played the king once, didn't I?
Oh, that's close enough.
He played the
king.
He played the freaking king to my queen. We did
Lion and Witcher.
Lion and Witcher. I saw it at the Pasadena Playhouse.
Tom came to me, he said, Carole, the Lion Winner, it's a wonderful part for you, but he said, I think I'm too young for the king. I said, he's 12 years younger than Eleanor.
Is that where I pulled the sword out of the?
Oh, yeah.
I pulled the sword out of the.
Yeah, we were doing it. You tell it.
I don't remember it.
Wonderful. You see what I live with
Well,
them.
I mean, something about it.
But he did. He in the scene where he's talking to his sons and gets angry, he pulled the sword out one night and said, you know, I'm going to kill you all, and did it like this. And the sword flew out of his hand and went right into the first seat on the thing. And I was on stage, I went, he got up so fast, went off the stage, got up on the stage again, and I went, did he just go off the stage? I mean, it was so fast. I couldn't believe it.
Luckily.
I would like to point out, it was the only empty seat in the house.
Oh, thank goodness.
And there was a person sitting right next to that. That was a fake sword, but it could still have killed him, you know.
Wow.
You guys must have stories for
What
decades.
a history. I mean, of course, Carole was the first actress to play Dolly after Carol Channing. She opened the Australia company of Hello Dolly and spent 3 years performing the show there. She was in the original Broadway company of 42nd Street. She was discovered by Lucille Ball and has been on so many sitcoms, The Lucy Show and whatnot, The Love Boat, et cetera, et cetera. But Tom is, he's quiet. He doesn't say much, but he is an incredible actor. And for, I don't know how many years did you do Diary of a Madman?
I don't know, about 6, 7 years, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Yeah. He did this one-man show called Diary of a Madman. We got to see it, thankfully. It was incredible. I mean, it was incredible. I just have a tiny little glimmer into the life of Tom Troupe I want to share with you.
Tom is a brilliant actor, one of America's finest.
Did you know that the Prince of Algiers has a wart just under his nose?
Truly, he has not been recognized the way he should be recognized for his work. He's the best actor I have ever worked with. And I've had the pleasure of directing a number of very fine and accomplished actors. He's the best.
Well, if I had to say, he'd get a medal.
As Tom and I rehearsed diaries scene by scene for the workshop at the Melrose, it became apparent that something very special was happening.
Tom made a supreme effort and reached his goal.
And the rest is history.
Amazing.
Amazing.
Absolutely no memory of doing that.
Would you stop saying that? It sounds like you don't remember marrying me.
This old person there.
I think he remembers that, Carole.
He did that show for several,
Many
well,
times.
it was probably 30 years.
Yeah.
He kept doing it. And in the show, he was supposed to be in love with the boss's daughter. It's a play written by, it was a short story by Gogol, the Russian playwright. And so every time they did it, with every 10 years, they didn't want it to look like some old man having had some young girl. So they finally made it the boss's wife. And she had gray hair too. So there are these two old people on stage going, I love you, honey, I love you.
I still say that to you. I love
it.
Oh my.
Wow. Well,
nice to
you know, we had, yes, of course.
My family being there though. How are you all, darling?
That's amazing. And in Missouri and
Can they hear? I
Has
don't know if they
Santa
can hear.
Claus been there yet?
They don't hear. I don't know if we lost
I
connection.
don't think they can hear.
Wish you a Merry Christmas. There they are.
That'll be tomorrow.
Yes, you can hear.
Yes.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for being here. Thank you for spending time.
Robert has been fabulous. Do I have time to tell one story about Lucy? Or no?
Sure.
When I was out here with now Lucy had been dead probably for 10 or 15 years when this happened. I went to the drugstore and I had dark glasses on. I was being very Hollywood. And there were 5 little old women standing at the side. And, you know, they had no teeth and they had their hair rolled up and little curls through it. And they're looking at me like this. And I thought, oh, they recognized me. How wonderful. How fabulous. And you know you're in trouble when that happens. And they kept pointing at me and pointing at me. And I'm going, yes, I'm who you think I am. They came over to me and we said, we know who you are. And we're just thrilled to death to see you. And I said, yeah, yes. And he said, you're Lucille Ball. She's been dead 10 years. I said, well, there were 2 things to say. Either, yes, I am, and they were thrilled, or no, she's been dead 10 years. And I thought, oh God, they'll have a heart attack right here. So I
Oh my
looked
God.
and I said, yes, I am. And with that, I turned and walked out the door, and I thought, I better cover my ass on this one. So I turned and I said, but you know, ladies, I've not been feeling well lately. And I thought, when they get home, they'll go to the home, they'll say, oh my God, we saw Lucille Ball. And somebody, she's dead. And they say, she said she wasn't feeling well.
Oh my God. Well, on that note,
Thank
wow. You're the best.
Thank you both.
We adore you. I'm so glad you were finally able to come on the show. Mark and Catherine and Regina, it's so good to see you. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Robert,
Mwah, mwah.
And thank you. One day we'll meet Robert, and you I know very well, and my family, not so clear. I love you, darling. I see you. I see you. I love you. I wish we
We'll talk
were
to you
there.
tomorrow.
We'll see you.
As soon as this is all over, we'll take you all to the best eating place in the world, In-N-Out Burger. You're gonna
Done. Fries for
It's
all.
a date. It is a date.
Thank you.
It is a date. Have a great Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Bye, Carole. Bye, Tom.
Oh, it's beautiful.
How fun.
So
I know.
beautiful.
I love them. I just love them. They're the best. They're the best. I'm so glad that our friend Melissa Manchester is coming back on today. She's doing this new album that is like revisiting her hit songs. And they just released the single to Don't Cry Out Loud. And it is stunning. It is stunning. But she also recently did a recording of a brand new song called Let There Be More Light. And she performed it virtually with the Los Angeles Jewish Symphony and Chorus. And it's gorgeous. So I just want to play a little bit of that before she comes on.
Let there be more light, let there be more light, not just for 8 nights, but every day of your life. Let every mitzvah Bless every precious day. There are so many ways to let there be more light. Happy Hanukkah, happy Hanukkah, happy Hanukkah, from my heart to yours. Happy Hanukkah, happy Hanukkah, from my heart to yours.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Happy holidays.
Happy
And there's a
Hanukkah.
little celebration tree to balance it out.
Love that.
Perfect.
Happy holidays to you.
Thanks very much.
How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. I brought out the celebration tree at the beginning of October because I needed cheer. And, we got through Hanukkah, and tomorrow we're going to open presents on Christmas morning, my daughter and I, and we're Zooming with family. And so everything's fine. I'm happy to be here.
Good.
I said to my dad today, we were driving to pick up packages, and I said, Dad, 20 years ago, when we went to see Melissa Manchester 3 summers in a row in New Jersey, if you would have told me on Christmas Eve she was going to come on and show us a song on My Little Show with Lee, I would have never believed it. We literally just had Ty Taylor on. He was talking about, as an 11-year-old, he's saying, you should hear how she talks about you on the talent show. I'm like, you inspired him. Like, you are just one of the greatest voices of our time. So
thanks so much.
Amazing for you to be here with us.
Thank you. Yeah, this has been, I know how hard this time has been, and I can't imagine how hard it's been for some people. But personally, I've never been home this long in my adult life.
Right.
And I've been fairly productive, Review, the 24th album. We are rolling out video by video per month. Because where's anybody going? Who's in a rush? And so, we just released the 3rd single, and I finished writing a choral piece. And so it's just an interesting time, isn't it? There's much to be grateful for, and it is still very, very interesting.
Yes. Well, we are thrilled to celebrate you. This every track you've released is incredible. It stirs up so many memories because I don't know, you influenced my early musical life. You were one of the people that I could sing along to because I'm very lyrically driven, and you wrote such gorgeous lyrics that were really heartfelt and really touched people's hearts, and we could all relate to them. And
thank you. Well, I work with some great lyricist collaborators, but I also found that these songs have grown into this peculiar moment. And whether I ever write this book, people have been asking me to write, these videos are my comment on this moment. Because I believe that when this passes, and it will, we may resume or move into a new life, a new chapter, and not want to talk about it. But for me, this comes under the list of the latest thing to never forget. And so for me, these videos allow me to mark these songs where the shift of the song is not a romantic text, right, more of a narrative on what's going on, which you don't plan these things when you write stuff, and that it's grown into this moment unexpectedly with a purpose is very, very interesting for me. So,
wow. I love watching the videos, especially the one we're going to play. We're going to play it out as we finish the show. Your re-recording and revisiting of "Don't Cry Out Loud."
Right.
I love what you found musically in that, and it's thrilling. I mean, the original is brilliant. Of course, it's iconic, but you found like new life in it musically and vocally. And that's, as a vocalist, that's, my hat is off to you.
Well, these songs are monologues, and if you're lucky enough to love these songs like I do, because I'm so grateful for all of them, they have grown with me. And so what I knew to be true, decades ago when I first recorded them, is a much richer, deeper experience because I've lived so much longer and amassed so much more experience and really hard-won wisdom.
Yes.
And so the songs really take on they take on a deeper shade of whatever color you thought they were decades ago. And so I find it all fascinating, and I just thought that this was a good moment to do all of this. And by the way, there are no fades on this album, not one.
Not one. I know. I love it. That was the thing. That was the thing back then, right?
Well, it was how you made records. But what I learned from being on stage, which I found so appealing, is at the end of the song, you end the song so the audience can go, "Thank you." So otherwise, what are they going to do? Roll me off of the stage? Doesn't make sense.
You released Just You and I. You released Midnight Blue. You now have Don't Cry Out Loud.
Yes.
And eventually, and there's more to come?
Oh, yes. We have 6 or 7 more. And they will be per month, and they will be per whatever's going on in the world. And the thing is, when this is all done and finally released as an album, as a CD, the videos themselves, I'm hoping, when you look at them as an entire piece, you will see this commentary on this very specific moment, long after the moment has passed. Perhaps with as much value as when Margaret Burke White was taking photographs in the 1930s of what was going on in the Dust Bowl. Because I just am so fascinated by what is happening and how this has forced me to really pay attention to society, to what's broken, to what's never been finished, to what's never been really discussed, fully discussed, and the beauty and the unexpected beauty and the unexpected kindness and neighborliness of people. So it's really something I didn't want to miss.
Well, there is beautifulness out there. There are so many good things that happen, more good things than bad, and I love that.
Absolutely. Yes, including people who were considered invisible workers are now considered essential workers. I mean, really fantastic.
Yes. Fantastic. Mm-hmm. Well, we're so grateful that you took time out on Christmas Eve to join us. Sure. We adore you. We celebrate you. We're going to play out the show with a clip from the Don't Cry Out Loud video.
And happy holidays to your daughter and your sister, who's so sweet. She's on Facebook. I love her.
Claudia is my queen. She's fantastic. Yes. My kids, my daughter and my son over the hill with his fiance, we're all going to be visiting tomorrow, but I'm so delighted to stop by tonight and wish you happy holidays and best wishes for a happy, healthy, and more hopeful new year.
Absolutely. Mwah. We love you.
It's always a pleasure. Always a pleasure.
My pleasure.
Thank you, guys. Merry and happy.
Wow. That put me in a good mood.
I love that, Melissa Manchester.
I know.
Carole and Tom are literally treasures.
Yes, they are. They sure are. They sure are. Two of the best people I know. And for the record live, Shane and Ty and Jesse, thank you so much for joining us. We're going to end the show with a little snippet of Melissa's Don't Cry Out Loud video that she just released. And then we'll be back on January 7th. We've got a great show. So we'll see you then. And Merry Christmas, Robert.
Merry Christmas, Lee. Happy New Year. And Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to everybody watching.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Baby saw that when they pulled that big top down, they left behind her dreams among the litter, and that different kind of love she thought she found. There was nothing left but sawdust and some glitter. Oh, but apart.